And welcome back, Rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and this is our 2026 World Rugby Junior World Championship preview, week number 3. Of course, again, like in my prior videos, a little bit more USA specific in this preview, so we are obviously going to be focusing on the last match of pool play, where our USA under-20s will take on Ireland. Not an easy matchup, but considering the last performance by the USA under-20s Eagles, there's some optimism to be had and maybe a possible upset. But of course, this match is going to be taking place, by the time you might see this video, it already may be started. All of it, most everybody might be asleep by this point. But the game is kicking off Tuesday, July 7th, 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 5 a.m. for the East Coast. So yes, very, very early. Of course, because it's in a Vachala Stadium in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, where all the pool play matches for USA have been taking place. Of course, you can watch it live if you're willing to stay up that late, or later on demand on Paramount Plus. And yeah, this is the last match of pool play. Let's talk about the prior match where USA took on England. And granted, again, not expecting too much from our Eagles taking on a powerhouse like England. But despite the fact that the score was 68-40, actually was a much more competitive match than what was on paper. I gotta commend the boys. They did great, because also too, there's been word now that there's actually been an illness going around in the USA Eagles camp. So quite a few of the members of the team have been sick. So people have had to step in at the last minute to play, including Harrison Clough had to come off the bench for replacing, I believe, Finian Love, and then Jaden Williams, co-captain, also had to come off the bench as well for a sickness. So again, it hasn't been easy for the USA Eagles, but man, this game, again, if you have Paramount Plus, highly recommend watching it, because it really gives you a lot of confidence in what head coach Johannes Niedzgrecki is doing with the team. Because again, I have to stress that you have teams here, especially with the European teams, that have consistently been able to compete before this championship, whether it is the under-26 nations or the under-20 rugby championship tournament. USA, this is the first match of the year for all of these under-20s USA players as a cohesive team. This is not the first match for all their opponents. So it's been amazing to see how well this team has been able to react and to be able to adapt to the very, very challenging situation that they've been placed against ahead of them, especially in what's been called the pool of death in Pool C, facing against England, who won this rugby championship in 2024, Argentina, who won the rugby championship this year, and Ireland, who were the Triple Crown winners of the Six Nations this year. So it's really been impressive what USA has done. And again, let's talk about that match. 40-68 against England. Despite the fact that England started off hot, USA was able to score a try with Captain Will Derbyshire, who amazingly came off the bench. Again, he was also a player that had to come off due to an injury to another person on the squad to finish Love. Sorry, his injury to finish Love. And England struck back with 2 tries by Gerald Gorlecki, who has been having a great tournament. So despite the fact that USA were able to strike back with a try by Jamison Beatty, the halftime score was 42-14. 42-14 at the half. Second half, USA came out guns blazing. Most of it coming off of one man, Dane Mitchell. Dane Mitchell, who ended up having a hat trick. First try that Dane Mitchell scored, literally went from the try zone of the USA all the way 100 yards to score. It was a thing of beauty, and that was just the first try. He ran 100 yards and then still had the energy to score 2 more tries for a hat trick. And then a try also by Gavin Holder as well, who juked 2 English defenders. The final score ended up being 56-40. But you had 4 tries scored by the U.S. in the second half alone. That gave the USA their very first bonus point. And again, even though the score was, 68-40 at the end, it still was really an impressive scoreline. In the end, USA scored 26 points. England scored 26 points in the second half. So technically a tale of two halves. Second half, USA scored just as many points as England. It was a really, really impressive showing by the USA Eagles. And again, giving quite a bit of optimism for now our last game in pool play against Ireland. And let's talk about the Irish team. Ireland, even though, as I mentioned before, they're the Triple Crown winners of the Six Nations tournament earlier this year. If you don't know what that means, the Six Nations tournament, again, one of the most prestigious yearly tournaments that takes place in Europe between 6 of the top rugby nations in the world: England, France, Italy, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. In that tournament, if you are one of the core teams that originated in the tournament, which is Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, and you defeat the other 3, that is your Triple Crown. And so Ireland was the Triple Crown winner, beating England, Scotland, and Wales in that tournament. A great showing. Unfortunately, in this Rugby Junior World Championship, they have not fared as well. They lost a very close competitive game to England, 34-27, but then got trumped by Argentina, 62-40. Though, again, another game, tale of two halves. The halftime score was 31-7. And then Ireland kind of started coming on, but might have been by that point Argentina kind of took the foot off the gas, so to speak. But Argentina definitely looking like the team to win it all in this Rugby Junior World Championship. They were the Rugby Championship winners. That, again, another huge tournament that takes place in the Southern Hemisphere every year between 4 of the other top nations in the world: Argentina, South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. Argentina won the championship this year, and they are looking really, really strong so far in this Six Nations tournament. They will be facing England to see who wins in the pool to move on to the finals. So, Ireland taking on the USA. Let's talk about first the USA makeup. The roster by Johannes Nietz-Gracchi was put up. And because of, again, illnesses, people coming back, this is a wildly different lineup than the team that went against England. Only 3 players, and that's hooker Aiden Stewart and Tyler Trower, the loosehead prop. The tight head prop at number 3. Who, by the way, Tyler Trower is also the only player in the under 20s that has played in all and started in all 3 pool play games so far. And then Liam Hill at number 6. From Sydney University in Australia. These are the only 3 players that were in the starting lineup in the same position in the game against England. Everybody else is either they weren't starting the game against England or in a different position. Including, we're bringing back Declan Cadden, who I thought was great at fly half at number 10 in his game against Argentina. Missed out on the England game, now here in the Ireland game. From the San Diego Mustangs, an Irish player coming in. I believe he was sick, which is why he wasn't able to start. And then coming in at number 9, interestingly enough, at the scrum half, replacing the team captain for the last 2 games, Spencer Huntley, who I thought did a great job in those first 2 games. A guy that I've been keeping my eye on from Penn State, Joseph Starkeys, has a lot of pedigree behind him. He is now going to get his first start at the scrum half position. William Derbyshire, who I mentioned before, coming off the bench, an English player, Nottingham University, playing for the United States, came off the bench in the game against England because of an illness to Finian Love, who happens to be in the roster now for this starting lineup at the left wing position. William Derbyshire will be the outside center at number 13. He is going to be the captain of this team in replacement for Spencer Huntley. But again, this makeup is wildly different than the England team. The bench is pretty much a mix of players that either started the prior game or were on the bench last game. Only one player, number 16, Salesi Kafovalu, is going to make his possible debut in this tournament from Elk Grove, California, Lifewest University. Everybody else has at least played one game. Interestingly enough, the before mentioned Dane Mitchell from Australia, who had the hat trick against England, not starting. It might be because he's just tired from all the tries he scored against England. He will be on the bench. And also, too, interestingly enough, vice captain Jaden Williams from Ohio State University will also be on the bench. And then Jack Firebrace, what a name for a rugby player, sitting on the bench at number 23, English player from Cobham RFC. He is going to be the replacement fly half if he is called up for duty. So, an interesting makeup of a team. Ireland, again, has been struggling this entire tournament. They're led by head coach Andrew Brown, who just took over last year in replacement for Neil Doak. When he took over, Ireland found success, like I said, went on to win the Triple Crown in the in the Six Nations Under-20s tournament. Andrew Brown is a former Irish player, was never capped, but played many, many years, 2007 and 2018 for Connacht, and he was an Ireland Under-20 player, just never made it to the actual national team. But he's doing a great job as a head coach. Interestingly enough, one of the top star players will be starting at fly half, who I want you to pay attention to for Ireland, Charlie O'Shea. He had a great game despite the fact that Ireland came up very short against Argentina. Scored 20 points by himself, 5 for 6 off the tee, 2 tries. And then what is interesting, 2 of the top players I feel for the Irish team, Jack Deegan and Daniel Ryan, both have scored 2 tries so far this tournament each, are not starting against the United States but will be on the bench instead. So that is the makeup for the Irish team. Now, both teams, technically, United States has the possibility to finish third in this pool, which would be remarkable if they're able to pull off the upset against Ireland. The only problem with this is that even though both teams have not won a match, U.S. has only 1 bonus point, while Ireland actually has 3, thanks to a very close loss to England, where they scored 4 tries and lost within 7 points. So that's 2 bonus points, and then the 1 bonus point for 4 tries against Argentina. So the U.S. not only have to win by more than 4 points, by more than 3 points, but they also have to make sure that Ireland doesn't get 2 bonus points in that win as well. So, not an easy task for the United States, but again, with the showing against England, man, I'm excited for this match. Ireland has not necessarily looked like world beaters. USA, I feel a lot of momentum coming off of that game against England. Ireland a little bit manhandled by Argentina, so this will be exciting. And now, again, how the tournament works out. Depending on where USA finishes in the pool. Right now, they're technically in 4th place at the bottom. If USA finishes at 4th, meaning they lose to Ireland, or they don't score more, they don't get more points than Ireland does at the end of the game, they will finish 4th. They will end up playing the other 3 4th place teams in the other 3 pools. There's 4 pools, A, B, C, D. USA is in Pool C. They'll play against the other 4th place finishing teams in each pool in a 4-man semifinal format. That will take place next week. Then, if they beat Ireland, then they get a chance to finish in 3rd place, and they'll play against the other 3 3rd place teams. I'll be honest, the skill level between the 3rd place teams, or what looks like will finish in 3rd, and the 4th place teams is not really that much different. You're looking against teams like Georgia, Uruguay, Spain, Fiji, Japan. It's not a big separation of skill level. It's when you get to the 2nd place team and the 1st place teams, of course, that's where the skill level is huge. So, so far, all 4 pools, not really a lot of surprises in store. And the scores for Week 2 are definitely a lot more competitive than they were Week 1. Possibly the only score that was a little lopsided is Wales beating Uruguay 47-0, but it's only 47. I mean, Uruguay lost their game, I think, like 100 and something to them, so by 100 points. So it's a lot more competitive games in this second round. And yeah, this tournament is, again, it's become very, very exciting, and you can watch it all Paramount Plus. Let's see what the USA do. Again, if they beat Ireland, it's a possibility that they can finish in third, which is a huge, huge get for the United States. Because again, considering the lack of preparation they had, the lack of ability to really be a team going into this tournament, I feel honestly that performance by USA against England, that alone I think made this tournament. And I'm really excited, regardless if they finish third or fourth. I have a really good feeling that they can easily win their semifinal, regardless if they're third or fourth place, because they look really, really good, at least in that second game. Let's see what happens with Ireland. Hopefully there isn't a drop-off in that match. So that's my video. Again, kind of short and sweet. Thank you very much for checking out my video. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you on the pitch. Go USA!